All right, everyone. I sent a final draft, or what I think is a final draft, to the other commissioner. And now we're going to go back to this one where I need to get my brain back in drawing mode because I was doing some painting, digital color. Eventually, I do want it all integrated, like where drawing and painting are going to feel like the same thing. But I'm still not that much of a master yet. Maybe that's, but it's something that I do expect of myself, that drawing and painting are gonna feel like the same thing. Now, as an animator, they're very clear steps. They're very different. Like drawing is not color. It's just they're two completely different steps in when you're animating. But in illustration, you can blend the two together, where the process of one can integrate with the process of the other. And if you get good enough at it, this is what I'm expecting, what I'm imagining. It might not even be true. Maybe there's some people who are more seasoned than I am who are saying no, they're always going to be different things. But again, it also depends on your style. I guess what I'm expecting of myself is that maybe if I get good enough at illustration, I can sort of do it all in one go. Maybe I won't need so many passes, like Kim Jung-gi, right? So Kim Jung-gi can do things without a sketch, perfect line drawings without a sketch. But maybe if one gets good enough, and this is like going beyond like even the great masters, right? The great masters, maybe they did underpaintings and they did sketches. But if someone, this is a theoretical right now, if someone is enough of a master with illustration or painting that they can pre-visualize and execute the surface level, the top layer is how I should say it as a digital artist, and just get it right. Is it possible? I think theoretically it is. Should I shoot for it? I think yes. I think I should. So we'll shoot for it. But we are not even close to that level yet. I do not consider myself the greatest digital artist in the world. Do I want to be? I want to be the best that I can be. I don't necessarily want to be the best in the world in a superlative, but I want to be competitive. Do I want to be better than others? Not in the sense that I want to be superior to them, but in the sense that in the competitive field of art, I want to be competitive. I want to be competent. I want people to pick me. For my career's sake, which is ultimately for my family's sake. It's not about me. Okay, so I want this brush to be a little bit thicker. I think actually this is the main one here. So actually this part comes down more. So this, let me actually go back here a little bit. I'll just kind of make adjustments here. I don't want to cover her ear completely, but it might end up being so. Something like that. Okay. I want to remove the guesswork. I want to think about line confidence. Again, so the concepts were, what were they again? So don't zoom in much. Don't undo much. Okay, so it's going to be quite difficult with this brush. You know what? I don't even think this is going to be a final pass for the brush, final pass for the line art. So we can keep it loose. Let's try to loosen up a little bit. Now, that side is not going to be showing much actually. Let's bring it back here because that side is braided. And then we're going to bring it back here, and it's going to sort of come in. We might have some loose hairs, like here. Let's create some loose hairs blowing in the wind. Just a little bit. That's a nice one. But the rest of it will be sort of clumped up and braided coming in this way, and then it's gonna be, so if the wind is gonna be blowing that way, so we're gonna start it here, and then we're gonna bring it here. But I think the braid shouldn't be too affected by the wind, actually. Let's bring the braid. It doesn't come down from the side. It more comes like almost straight down, but thinking physically, it would come at this angle right here. Like that. I think that's right. Okay. It's gonna get thinner and thinner. I want to taper it in a little bit more. Make the chunks a little bit smaller each time. Okay. I want a flow to it though, so yeah. It's funny, mentioning that skill level I mentioned earlier. To be able to pre-visualize and do it all in one go, do the top layer in one go, it sounds like an impossibility, but it sounds like an impossibility from a human perspective, but just thinking conceptually, thinking as a scientist, it sounds like something possible. And in order for me to reach it, if I'm to reach it, I have to be thinking about it. I have to be thinking of that end goal and integrate all my actions as I'm doing this drawing to work toward that end goal, to create a system and put a system in place where it's like I'm thinking of this. And I think the big skill that's going to be needed is pre-visualization. So let's go this way. So I'm going to be doing sketch lines with the specific intent of helping me pre-visualize what I'm going to call top layer. This is the flow state I was talking about, where I'm learning as I go. Am I in flow state right now? No. I'm a bit rusty, but it's been a couple of weeks since I've really drawn anything. I want to think of gravity here. So not only pre-visualizing, the shapes and forms, but thinking of the logic of the forms. See, the logic here, okay, so this is wrong. This is wrong. See, I'm already erasing all the work because I have to think big first. Think big in general. Because I thought, the shape of actually like her chest, the hair was like kind of digging into it, like it should be laying on top of it. So let's actually bring it more this way. So we're gonna pre-visualize generally, keep it loose. I think we're gonna need a big brush for this. Actually, I was trying to match the brush size, but let's use a bigger brush. Is that where the braid would be? Would it end up sitting that way? It wouldn't really curve back to the right. And the wind is blowing to the right, so hold on, we're gonna redo this. We're gonna redo it. We're gonna go back. Without undoing all the way back, we're gonna change the logic of the braid. Because it would be going over her shoulder here. And then maybe falling. tapering in. Get it a bit longer, because it goes down to her stomach there. A bit longer, and we don't need to curve back to the right. But I feel like I'm naturally doing that to maintain some dynamism, but it doesn't have to be too much. It's pre-visual. I think this is good. You know, here's the reason I do strokes and undo it. Because maybe I'm not so good at pre-visualization, and I'm just testing things to see if they work and then keeping what works. But let's pre-visualize. Let's change that part of my brain. That's the kind of, it's something I notice even in my classes. We're going back to game theory here. If game theory can apply to art, what I've been doing as an artist this entire time, it seems, is trial and error. That's why I undo so much. But if I can plan and think of concepts to abide by, it's gonna help me pre-visualize. Okay. Let's keep using a big brush here. So we're making a move now toward the end goal. I'm going to write this down in my notes. Toward the end goal of being so good at this that I can, so good at illustration that I can do the top layer in one go. Wouldn't that be insane? Wouldn't that be just insanity? Pixel perfect, frame perfect. That's what we can move towards. And again, I say move because we're not going to abandon the fundamentals of building a piece of art. You know, composition and you know, form and building from multiple passes like this. I don't want to lose that because it's part of my skill. But I have to refine it and mold it. I want to refine it and mold it in such a way that it will become something new, this new sort of idea or concept that I have, which is less of, it's less about the art itself. It's less about what I'm drawing, and it's more about the approach and the end goal of that approach. Okay. So what have I done so far in this session? Not much. But let's start doing some more. So speed and accuracy. We're gonna be thinking about almost like RPG stats, like speed, accuracy. I know accuracy should come first before speed. Pre-visualization. Okay, let's bring this down. What happened? Oh, I accidentally went to eraser. Composition-wise, there's a lot of symmetry here, and if I put too much asymmetry in the wings, I think it might mess with the composition. So I'm actually going to bring a little bit more symmetry to them. Now, we are taking into account she's facing the beach, and the wind is blowing toward her. And I was thinking that might change the shape of the wings, but I realized, you know, the asymmetry will be bothersome. So I'm going to bring this one in a little bit more. I don't want too much symmetry either, you know? But I think that was a bit much with the wings kind of being at completely different angles there. So pre-visualization. This is so difficult because, like, I try something and then it doesn't work. So that's another skill, like pre-visualizing so well that even the composition is good. So there are levels of mastery I'm discovering as an artist that I can aim for, and they're just so far away. I'm actually amazed that I've been an artist for this long. I've been a professional artist for what, like 8 years, and I'm discovering things that are just so far away from my skill level that I didn't even know to shoot for today. But we will shoot for it now that we know, now that we have this idea of an artist that is so good at pre-visualization and so good at execution that I get it in the first try. Is it possible? We will find out with my life. Not only in art, but in everything. Pre-visualization and execution is going to be something I'll reflect on, I think, in all aspects. Doing the dishes, like taking a shower, like, can I prepare enough? Because I know scientific method is part of life, but there comes a point where there's too much dynamism in the experimentation, where you're just trying too many things. And the scientific method should be guided by the principles that you discover. And you should follow those rules, the rules that you discovered via scientific method. And so, too often, I guess I'm maybe breaking those rules. Or rather, not putting enough effort to follow them. I don't think I'm breaking them, but I'm not putting enough effort to follow them. The concepts that I know. I don't want too much angle in the ankles and stuff here. I just want to keep it realistic. Keep the feet a little bit thin, I guess. Don't want too much, again, I don't want too many angles in it. Angle of the leg is pushing back that way a little bit. Okay. I feel like I haven't gotten much progress on this one. Let's take a look at that. Is there anything that's not good with this? I want more curve in the stomach to be accentuated by the shirt. So I'm going to curve the shirt down a little bit. Curve that sides up and get it a little bit more round. What else? I think the legs look fine. We can get a little bit more fat here on the inner thigh, probably. Bring out the shorts a little bit more. Especially the shorts would be squeezing right there, so there would be a curve like right here. Same right here and here. Right here, yeah. It's like we're adjusting the level of fat as we go, but that's, again, pre-visualization. It's just crazy, this idea of thinking of, like, can an artist get that good? And this is sort of in line with some of the things I've been thinking about. There are no rules, and there are yes rules. Thinking about it, like, going back to my Christian faith, right? The 10 Commandments, there are a bunch of no rules. Don't do this, don't do that. But the yes rules, what did Jesus say? Love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Now, those things, there's no limit. Like, to do the no's, it's like, okay, I can not kill someone. That's fine. Most people don't kill someone. Most people are able to follow that commandment. You shall not kill. But, what are you doing? As you're omitting murder, what are you actually doing? What are you doing to give life? Love your neighbor as yourself. So there's no limit. Once you're within the no rules, you can say yes and be great at the yes things. Just be great, really, really, really good at them. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot, and it applies to art. So what are my no rules? Imagine being able to execute this: no undo, single layer, perfect color picking, pre-visualized, good composition, perfect form. Like, That level of mastery just sounds nuts. Is it even possible? We will approach it. We will approach it together. Let's do it, folks. Let's do it. We might never achieve it, but the approach to that concept, it sounds really great. It sounds beautiful. It sounds magnanimous. It sounds godly. So we will try. We'll try it. And may God help me in that, in this endeavor. You know what? Again, we're so far away from it because we're seeing the mistakes. But, okay, so let's pre-visualize the foot. Let's imagine the foot there rather than just testing lines. This is something I've noticed in myself too. Why is it so easy for me to ruminate and think of terrible possibilities? And why is it so difficult to think of good possibilities? It's just something that's been difficult for me for the longest time. Visualizing good possibilities rather than bad ones. I know it's a natural instinct for us to want to avoid bad possibilities, but to imagine really great ones, it's like when Yoda says the future is clouded, you know? The future is clouded by my doubt, I think. Methinks. But let's have faith beyond space and time that this might be possible. That this idea I'm thinking of might be possible. The angle of the leg is like going this way, so that would bring the ankle back as I was moving it earlier. It would bring it that way a little bit more. Yeah. And I think the top part of the foot might be higher, and the angle of the foot might be higher too. Now, the leg is getting too short, so I might elongate this leg a little bit. There, that's better. That's better. That's a bit better. So that was a lot to think about, and this video is running a bit long. We made a little bit of progress, and that's okay. We made a little bit, and that's okay. Yeah, this is pretty good. I like that. You know, I added a horn. I added a little bit to the legs. I added a tail and the wings. It's a little bit of progress, and we'll take that. So I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you. Bye-bye.